Oh my god, I am so sorry. I am late. Traffic was just. Anyways, hi. My name is Mariah. I'm here for the interview, clearly. Work experience. I don't really have any in, this position, but I'm totally willing to learn. As for weaknesses, well, I kind of get focused on like one specific task, trying to make it perfect, and before I realize time has passed, and it could be an hour or so later, and I'm trying to fix that though. As for availability, I am totally available whenever you need me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm 5 minutes early, is that okay? Anyway. Job experience. This is very similar to my old position at my last job. My transition, I expect it to be easy, and I plan on thriving at this business. I will say I do tend to be promoted quite quickly, so watch out for that, especially as my superior. Weaknesses, none, but strengths, many. Like I said, I plan on taking up some of the old roles that I had with my old job and taking up leadership, especially among my peers and coworkers. And my availability, well, I am a student, so weekdays are out of the question for me. That time is set aside for schoolwork, and I am an extrovert. I very much am a people person, life of the party, so certainly not on Fridays as well. If I could work Sunday afternoons, that would be preferable. Otherwise, very much part-time. Okay, well, thank you very much. Have a good day. That's our skits. We did that to illustrate what can go wrong and how important a first impression can be. With that, who would you hire? Show of hands, who would hire me? Show of hands, who would hire Mariah or her character?
Yeah.
Interesting. Can I have one reason why you would hire Mariah?
Yeah, definitely, because like she was like very formal in the interview, and like her speech was like she was like struggling like in the beginning, but she had a clear speech. And yeah, absolutely, I would, if I would hire, I would go with Maria.
Absolutely, that's fair. Can I have one reason against Mariah?
Only one reason that I noticed was she was like nervous and like I can say overdressed.
Yeah. One point that we thought of was that she was tardy.
Yeah, that is
That was another one. Back onto my character, there's definitely some cons, which is the purpose of it. Does anybody have any that they could pick out a con for my character?
Overconfident, the first one, and the second one would be the availability is too
like
that you have given the availability on Sunday noon. After noon,
like
yeah, too small availability to adjust you in that position.
Like
yes.
Awesome.
Pros though, you were on time.
yeah, she was on
5 minutes
time.
earlier.
And she also mentioned that I'm 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Right? That's good. And yeah, the experience she also mentioned. That's fine.
Okay.
And the way you showed your resume like this.
The attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, very much on purpose. I'm glad you picked up on that. Very
Perfect.
much a con.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about first impressions. We did that skit to show the two sides of it being bad, whether you're unprepared, overdressed, underdressed. a little too confident, not confident enough, panicked. Of course, one thing that we showed was tardiness is very important. You don't want to be late. You don't want to be too early too. Being 20 minutes early for an interview can be a bit of an inconvenience for your interviewer. Background of the authors. Our assigned abstract was Robert B. Cialdini's The Psychology of Influence of Persuasion. This is his area of expertise at the University of Arizona State. He's also Professor Emeritus of Psychology and Marketing and is President of Influence at Work. We chose the abstract, The Image of Success by Lizandra Vega. She grew up in the Bronx, which is something that's very important for our Kahoot, which I have to put back in there. And she is the co-founder of Perennial Resources International in New York City and is a certified image coach. Also, our supplementary articles that we chose were by Hank Darlington. He's the owner of Darlington Consulting, and he writes several monthly articles for magazines, teaches seminars, and offers a full range of small business consulting services to kitchen and bath dealers. One of our favorite articles that you're going to hear about is by Rebecca Knight, The Importance of First Impressions. She's a freelance journalist in Boston and is a lecturer at Wesleyan University. Her work has been published in the New York Times, USA Today, and the Financial Times. Why are first impressions so important? It has been said through research that our first impression is formed within the first 3 seconds, the first moment we meet somebody, and that it lasts a lifetime. It's very hard for someone to change their opinion of someone, and we'll go on to talk about how that correlates going on as you meet somebody. What contributes to your first impression? This can be your social media presence, whether it's on LinkedIn, it's your website, it's maybe you're at an interview and they look at your Facebook and there could be inappropriate photos, or maybe you have a very attractive profile. It's also the environment that you're in, the workspace that you keep, where you have the interview, as well as, of course, your own personal things that you control, which is your demeanor and your attire. You always want to be polite and approachable. Knight, something that's a very important quote. Once that first impression is formed, it is very, very hard to change it. That's another note that we have to change. First impression is missing out of that quote. But
Question for you, Morgan.
Yes.
Like, how would you justify like the social? Can you just go back to previous slide, please? Yeah. So, how would you think like social media presence really affect on the interview?
on your interview, if you're going into an interview, the first thing that someone's going to do is Google you. Look at if you've had a resume before, talk to your previous employers. It said even in universities, they look at your Facebook. Like I said, having a website, a LinkedIn, your Facebook, these are all things that people check. And if any of that does not check out, that could cost you a job.
Fair enough. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, good question. And now, a video just to illustrate why first impressions are so important and how impressions are formed and how they last a lifetime.
So let's start by talking about conveying value. I think the single most important thing I've learned in my 15 years doing what I'm doing is the value of speed and how important it is to convey things really fast, and also how quickly things are conveyed, even if you don't want them to be. So what I mean by that is that there's an idea known as the thin slices rule. Some of you may have heard of this before. And it's the idea that we form judgments of people. You might assume that, if you've known someone for a year, that your impression of them over that year just changes gradually over time. After a couple of weeks, you learn something new about them. They do something that appeals to you or that doesn't appeal to you, and you slowly form this impression of how smart they are, how warm and generous and kind. It turns out that happens within 3 seconds. What I mean by that is that if you ask someone after a few seconds how they feel about a person, the relationship between that response and what they'll say a year later is incredibly high. It's a very strong relationship. There's evidence that the ratings that you get as a professor after a semester of teaching students, which is something we care about a lot, those ratings are formed within the first roughly 10 minutes of class. So I could give the same evaluation forms after 10 minutes that I give usually after 6 months of teaching, and I will get basically the same response, which is, on one level, totally terrifying. It means it's very, very hard to come back from a bad start. And what that means is you have to understand what people are looking for, what they're tuning into in those first 3 to 10 seconds or the first few minutes So it's really powerful to be able to understand that. So the one dimension is warmth and coldness. This is true of pretty much every judgment we make of humans. We judge very quickly whether their intentions are good or bad or indifferent or whether they're friends or foes. There are a lot of ways of putting the same idea, but this happens almost immediately. The best way to convey warmth is to identify with people, to form a very quick bond.
So, a point that he made was about professors, and you kind of make your opinion about them 3 seconds in. Well, a nice example is Harry Potter. And, well, kind of hated Snape. And it took him dying for Harry Potter to go, oh my god, you're not a bad guy anymore. So, yeah, it's a little bit hard to come back from bad first impressions.
6 types of persuasive appeals. First, social proof. This is the idea that those around you like to influence. This is the idea that those around you like to influence you, especially when you are unsure. Next, reciprocation. The likelihood that when someone gives you something to do, such as a favor, you're more likely to do what they want if they have already done you a favor. Consistency and commitment. This is the idea that if you agree to a favor first, agreeing to a further favor, you're more likely to do it if you feel you must remain consistent in giving a good impression. Scarcity. This is the idea that the rarer an item or opportunity is, the more desirable it is. Sales professionals use this whenever you see an expiry date on a coupon, a limited time offer in a car dealership, or even the whole market of stamps and coins use the idea of scarcity to sell stamps and coins. Authority. Those with the trappings of authority wield more influence. This can be somebody in a uniform or in a position of trust and authority in your life. And lastly, liking. If someone you care about asks you for a favor, you're more likely to do it if you care about, know them, or like them, have a positive opinion of them.
Okay, so can you give me the one example of the consistency and commitment? How can you elaborate this? Any example?
If I say, I'm having dinner with my family, and I say, can you pass me the salt and pepper, please? And they pass me the salt and pepper, and I say, oh, I forgot tartar sauce or ketchup in the fridge. Asking them to get up off the table immediately, oh, can you go to the fridge and grab me the ketchup? They're not going to be likely to say, oh, you go do that yourself, especially if it's a family member. But if you say salt and pepper, and then, oh, I forgot this, they're more likely to want to continue to help you, to be consistent in your opinion.
Yep.
Thanks. Good one.
Thanks. And now a video to illustrate, funnily, what bad first impressions look like.
Hey,
Thanks for watching the kids on such short notice. Come on in.
Hey, I know we said 10, but do you think you could stay till 11? Probably. Let me just call my parole officer.
This is your captain. Never flown one of these. Nope, forget that. You idiot. That just the fuel. Don't ever call me an idiot. You wanna go? You wanna do this right here?
What's going on, Coach? Good. Want you to meet your new star running back.
That one was also good.
Yours and yours. Yeah. So let's get you checked out here. You say it's the leg here. Oh dear, yeah, that's the lung. Wow, that's cancer. That's gross. What's your schedule look like? We're probably gonna need to amputate today. Do you have a will?
That's my cell phone. I'm here for a flu shot.
Wow, close call. You are lucky to be alive. Let's get that flu shot taken care of. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying out a new small group. I'll talk to you later.
Kill them all. As soon as they come in.
He's dead. Let's get rid of him. Oh, hey guys, come on in. A little bit of a fly problem.
Hey guys, welcome to our small group. Come on in.
want to add something? Anything. Yes, after any. Yes, you want to
I
add.
don't know what I'd add.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. You
Okay,
can-
put her on the spot, why don't you?
I'll think about it.
Oh.
Well, next.
It's hard to come back from any of those.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do not want to. Especially with like
Just make a funny comment so that.
with the doctor. So, how many people would like to go back to him?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
That's
what we
awesome.
would need.
Perfect. Nice.
That's actually good. Okay, so how do you make a great first impression? Just for success. In previous presentations with your professional look, it's been recommended to stay to neutral colors.